Hi guys, how's everybody doing today? I felt like doing some nail art, and so I decided to do some baby nail art since I'm kind of getting at the end here. Of course, as you can see, I did a pink theme, but you could do yellow or green or blue or whatever you want to do and just swap that for any color you see here that's pink. So we're going to use China Glaze Friends Forever Right, and that's going to be like the kind of whitish pink base on most of the nails. And then on the pink nail, it is OPI Suzi Shops and Island Hops. And then my top coat, I'm going to use this Rica one. I didn't actually really love it very much, but it's what I used. I have another favorite one for nail art. That's all I'm saying. I like it for like regular top coat, but not necessarily for this look today. But hey, you know. And we've been looking at the nail art brushes and tools that I'm going to be using in this video. And then I use acrylic paint for most of the painting here, and the names of them are listed at the top. So it's just like a lighter pink, a little bit purpley of a pink, and a yellow. So the first one we're going to start out with was the little baby feet. So you're going to start by you're going to give all your nails except for two coats of that kind of pinky white. And you could just go with white, you know, it doesn't have to be a pink white. Friends Forever Right just happened to be kind of pink. So anyway, I started out with my kind of thicker of the two nail art brushes that you saw earlier on. There's definitely one that had just a tiny few little hairs on it, and this is the one that had a little bit more, just because I was covering some larger amount of space. And as you can see, I'm just kind of, this is a pretty simple one. You're just blocking out the basic shape and then adding 5 little toes at the top. I did find later on that I made it more difficult for myself because I put too much acrylic paint on. So just watch out for that if you're going to recreate this one, because it made it kind of bumpy. But anyway, so that's a really cute and easy one. And then I'm cleaning up around the nail. And then we're going to top coat. And that's really all that there is to this design. So the Rica is nice and shiny, the Rica top coat. It's just that it was kind of messy for some reason. So on the next nail, this is the little buggy or the stroller or whatever you want to call it, the old-fashioned buggy. Starting with that same lighter pink again, I'm just kind of blocking out the base. Yes, this looks a little bit like a diaper. I'm going in here with actually some alcohol because alcohol will clean up acrylic and not mess up your base nail polish. It takes a little bit, but it cleans it off, and then you don't have to worry about trying to paint over it with your white or whatever. But so I went ahead and did that, and then here is like the handle, and then creating some wheels here. I'm kind of blocking things out with this lighter pink, and then I'm going to go in later and define more with the darker color, but this is just kind of the first stage to block things out. So just in case you don't have all of your color ideas picked out right from the start, that's a good way to do it. And also, by the way, when I was looking for reference photos for all of these designs today, I just Googled baby clip art, and I just found some clip art images that I thought were cute. This color here is a mix of the darker purpley pink and the lighter pink. And so I'm going to go in and make the, you know, like the shaded cover portion of the buggy with this. I'm just outlining it first, and then we're going to fill it in. So yeah, that's the top part. Very important. Not too much sun for baby. And of course, like I said, you could totally have done this in blue and green if you wanted to. So here what this is the darkest, this is the unmixed purpley pink. So that's why it appears a little bit darker than the rest of the pinks on my page. On my nails. So I decided to go ahead and outline with this same color. So I'm outlining the handle and the rest of the buggy. And if you're looking at this nail art brush and wondering, well, first of all, it looks kind of, sidetrack, my daughter needed some manicure on her turquoise manicure. So anyway, I wanted this to be a little bit darker in here, so I'm fixing that up. But if you're wondering about this nail art brush, I get questions about it all the time. Basically, it's just like an artist brush that you can pick up at Michael's or whatever, Joann's, and then I just cut it down really, really far. So you could just basically make your own nail art brushes by just cutting it down so that you only have a little, you know, like 10 little hairs on the brush or something. Anyway, this is the yellow acrylic paint, obviously. I just wanted to kind of change it up, give it a little bit more interest here on the nails and not just be so pink and white. And then I'm going in and outlining it again, as you can see. Just outlining these little scallops. And then I'm going to dot the wheels, and then that's going to finish up that design. So I'm going to go in, of course, again and clean up with some acetone and my cleanup brush. That's actually a brush from e.l.f. It's the concealer brush. And then I top coated, and that was it. So for the nail that starts out pink, again, that was OPI Suzi Shops and Island Hops. This is going to be just a basic dotticure. So this is my very smallest dotting brush or tool because, you know, since it's a baby, I thought maybe best would be to make it very, very delicate. So the smaller the dots, the more delicate it's going to look. And these dots are actually being made with the China Glaze Friends Forever, right? And you're going to be able to see here that it's going to start sticking and making like those little lines of polish, and that's what happens when you use polish instead of acrylic paint. It dries out faster. Look at that. It dries out faster, and so it does that. That's why I like acrylic paint. But anyway, clean up time and top coat again. Pretty basic, right? So last up, all we have left to do is our diaper pin. So I've never actually used diaper pins because I've never done cloth diapers, but I know my mom did with most of us. There are 8 kids in my family. Yeah. So yeah, not one to give the cloth diapers a try, but it is a pretty it's a pretty good baby symbol. So I took the fuchsia, the darker pink fuchsia to kind of block out the metal part of the diaper pin, and then we're going to go in with the lighter pink and make the top portion of the diaper pin. So we are almost finished with this nail art. Alright, so there's a little hole at the top of the diaper pin, right? I ended up feeling like it got too small, so I took my dotting tool and just placed a little dot using the original China Glaze light white pink, and that finishes it up. So we gotta clean up as usual, and then we're gonna top coat. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me doing a little nail art. I want to do more because I just really haven't been doing very much of it lately, and I miss it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this a lot. Hope you have a really great day. I'll see you back next time. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye.